Hello, grads of FinLearn Academy and fellow traders. Let's see what the market looks like going forward for the next week. You have seen a pretty strong rally in Nifty, and Nifty for the last 3 days. If you notice that instead of trending, it has started trading sideways. Whenever we see a swing up and market goes sideways, we as a trader sit on the sideline and wait for a breakout. Fine. So Nifty going forward is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So full trading week, it was sideways, and let the sideways trading range get resolved for us to take a fresh call on a Nifty whether we will be a buyer or will be booking profit on our longs, or we will wait for a dip to go short. So now, in this range bound, it's a day trader's delight market in which you have those choppiness throughout the day. But for a swing trader, a sideways market is very frustrating. So you'll have to sit on the sidelines and wait for the breakout. And the rules of a breakout are fairly simple. Once this high is taken out, you go long with a stop of the most recent low before the breakout. And once this low is breached, market should see some downside. And when we say some downside, let's go and check our averages. So one by one, I'll plot all the three. So my 10-day will be white in color. So you have support state here at the 10-day moving average. Let's plot the 20-day moving average also. Remember, as long as markets are trading above the short-term averages, here in this case it's 10 and 20. Any decline is a corrective pullback and not a downtrend. Always distinguish between a downtrend and a corrective decline. So the moving average around 17,250. So that could be immediate stop for short-term traders. And only break of this can see further consolidation, or till the 10-day moving average is holding, the bias for the Nifty continues to remain positive. And if you notice one thing on the price chart of Nifty, also Nifty is forming what we call a bullish flag pattern at the highs. So, and such patterns don't take more than 2 to 3 days either to break up or show us that it's a failure. So last 2 days pattern suggests that the consolidation is that of a flag which you had somewhere here also, if you notice. Fine. Then you had one more leg up. So rules for such flags on a breakout is that once you see a breakout, the low prior to the breakout becomes your stop loss. Fine. So Nifty is in a range. Let's see which side it breaks. It will be pretty clear on Monday. But to study Nifty, now let's go to Bank Nifty. See, Nifty has crossed the all-time high. And equivalent for Bank Nifty, it has not crossed the all-time high. And if you notice previously also, the Bank Nifty lags the Nifty, but then it crosses the high as long as we don't see any bearish reversal. So right now on Bank Nifty, we can say it's a consolidation or a correction. In that case, you can notice both your 10 and 20-day moving average around here. And the crossover of averages is positive. So that makes bias for Bank Nifty positive, which is buy on dips with a stop around 20. Now, if Bank Nifty is not declining, it has a major weightage in the Nifty. So Nifty can either go sideways or up keep watching your price charts on what Bank Nifty is doing. Right? So Bank Nifty and Reliance two combined together has more than 50% weightage on Nifty. And in Bank Nifty, just few days back, you have got a positive crossover. Once you get a positive crossover, the 10 and the 20, it create a band over here. So that itself becomes your support on dips or declines. And on any reversal, Bank Nifty is likely to cross this high, which is an all-time high, so which is a pending move, I can say. Because you see, Nifty has crossed the all-time high, Reliance has crossed the all-time high, and we don't have any bearish or negative indication on Bank Nifty. It's a trending move, and within this trending move, right now we are seeing a short-term consolidation. Till the 20-day is not breached, the bias for the Bank Nifty is positive. And one of the stocks which I was checking in Bank Nifty was HDFC. Let me check it out. So it was also, sorry, Kotak Bank on the daily price chart. See, Kotak Bank on the daily price chart, just one day back, it has seen a positive crossover of 10 and 20, which says that the momentum is back. So once you have such a positive crossover, any dips or declines or a breakout, it has tested this multiple times. So just pardon me, it was not HDFC Bank, it's Kotak. And this is the resistance which Kotak has tested multiple times. So let me remove this line. Yeah, I'll draw it fresh. So this is the resistance which has been repeatedly tested in Kotak Bank. So here it formed the resistance. Here it tested once. There was a decline. Again it tested here. The more test of the resistance, the more resistance gets weakened. So now even on a last trading session, you saw Kotak tested this resistance, fine. So Kotak is a heavyweight as far as your Bank Nifty is concerned. Any breakout here in Kotak will be a strong move because this resistance has been taken as a multiple time backed by a positive crossover on a 10 and 20. And if somebody is following chart patterns, you can clearly see that this decline from here in Kotak Bank, this was ahead. The resistance band is a neckline, and then you had this entire is your head of the head and shoulder pattern, which is an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which is a bullish one. So keep a watch on Kotak on a breakout. So once it takes out this resistance, a breakout would be confirmed, and we should see a upward trending move in Kotak towards the last high, which will be taking Bank Nifty up. And since Bank Nifty has a considerable weightage in Nifty, we should see even our markets going up. So at least a test of this high on this breakout looks very much possible. So on the stock for next week, keep a watch on Kotak. So now you'll have to study individual stocks on the Bank Nifty to see the strength in the private sector banks plus your State Bank of India for a strength in your banking sector. Let me zoom in the charts for you. Yeah. You can clearly see the resistance tested multiple times. So once you observe that breakout in Kotak, fine, that would be a strong move on the stock which has a weightage on the bank Nifty, and will be positive for the broad market, which is Nifty. Keep a watch on 1844, and any dips and declines in bank Nifty, the 10 and 20-day average will act as a support. So how I can summarize this session today is, I'll just take Nifty also. I'll keep both the charts side by side. So the first chart is Nifty. The second chart is Bank Nifty. So what we can say is, I'll just remove the averages. The purpose of the averages was done when I explained. Right? So Bank Nifty has crossed all-time high, and it is now trading above the all-time high, wherein Bank Nifty has yet not crossed. If you notice some of the patterns in the private sector banks, just now I showed you Kotak. One by one you can do for Axis, you can do the same for ICICI Bank. You can watch the charts of HDFC Bank and State Bank. These are the banks which have maximum weightage on Nifty. So any breakouts out there will give a push towards Bank Nifty towards the recent high, and once this high Nifty is taken out, the consolidation, the trending move which we are seeing right now will continue. Can there be a brief short-term dip or a correction? That we can only say once this range is broken out. So as a trader, it's a delight market for day traders, but for swing traders, wait for a decisive breakout in Nifty, and Bank Nifty also. If I take it to the line chart, right, the breakout comes fairly close by at the current price, which is here, and the level is this level, fine. And Bank Nifty, the 10 and 20 support is in between this low which it has made. So going forward, market has closed in a consolidation band. For traders to take positions, they have to wait for the consolidation to break on the upside. For long trades, if it breaks on the downside, the trend is too strong, wait for the dips towards the averages or a support to enter the trend or join the trend on its way up. So that's for this week's recap on what market looks for the next week.